This holiday season, witness the story of the first Christmas through a whole new set of eyes.
It's the wise men.
Hide quickly.
The other way.
The other left.
Yeah. Okay. It's Merry Christmas, everyone. Or Christmas Eve, I believe.
Happy Hanukkah, or Chanukah, whatever the hell Kwanzaa is, because I still am uncertain. It's been a long road.
Yep, we've been reviewing all these Christmas movies, and now we are at the Nativity.
A classic when you really, think about it. I mean, it's arguably a quintessential story for.
Yeah, next to the Christmas Carol and such, which we have done. But now we're talking about the latest adaptation of the Nativity, The Star, by Sony Pictures, I believe.
So you know it's good. You know it's quality when it comes with Sony. I mean, you can't spell quality without Sony. Isn't that right, Peter Rabbit?
Yeah, exactly.
Did they do anything else this year? Hotel Transylvania 3.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. What? I was just trying to really think of the way, because I saw the movie first when it actually came out last year. Like, you never got a chance to see it, or you chose not to see it.
I never got a chance to. I was very busy with holiday things and family.
Yeah, like sitting in your room.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so I went up to see The Star, and I came out feeling really sort of a mixture of feelings. Almost like it was sort of like a half and half sort of situation. Like it was half good and half horrendous. And now Nero has seen it, so why don't you start off and tell us about the story of The Star?
Well, for those who don't know, the story of the Nativity is usually revolving around the birth of Jesus Christ. He's a fairly, I guess, important figure in religion. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. The guy with the beard and long hair. I think he did something once. I guess he wasn't really that good of a carpenter. I understood, like, at one point he nailed himself or something to what he was building or something. I don't know. I have better things to do with my time.
Yeah.
But all joking aside, though, it's a very prominent narrative story about the birth of Christ. It's important.
Yeah.
Obviously not for every person, but for a lot of people it's important. So the idea of like, oh, we're going to see another film based on this narrative, that's cool. And with modern day animation, it'd be cool to see what we can pull off. And visually speaking,
yes,
The Star is great.
Yeah,
it looks wonderful.
Yes, no, Sony Pictures does like really top-notch work visually a lot of the times. Usually its biggest detriment is that it chooses a bunch of monkeys for its writers.
That's not fair. I mean, if you keep enough monkeys in a room long enough, even they could write Shakespeare.
Exactly. And there are probably some somewhat intelligent monkeys riding on The Star as well.
At least 1/3.
At least 1/3. Because basically, the story of The Star follows firstly a little donkey named Bo. Or, he was not named Bo at first, because he's basically just sort of like a mill donkey to begin with, who just wants to be part of the royal guard and such. Like, that's his dream. And one day he basically escapes.
Because we didn't fully set this up. There are talking animals in this version, so.
Yeah, you can see from the poster. It's either going to be quiet or talking.
Well,
yeah. Look at that sassy bird, the sassy camel, the sassy goat, the sassy sheep.
What about the sassy horse?
She's not that sassy.
That's true. Even on this poster, I mean, only these three characters are important. That's right. Baby Jesus is irrelevant. Really, it's only these three characters that are
He's basically the MacGuffin for the whole thing.
He really is.
Yeah, pointless character, stupid character, pointless camel character cut off.
Another pointless character, Camel.
Yeah, another pointless character cut off as well. And just like a talking animal story, but it's just basically about Donkey Bo. He wants to become part of the World Guard. Basically, he just sits off. But then just after he's hiding, he ends up becoming the donkey to Mary and Joseph, the parents of Jesus.
What?
What?
The parents of Jesus. Oh my God! No, in all seriousness, though. I mean,
Yeah, that was an overreaction.
Don't worry, it goes along with the 2009 Christmas Carol where, like, everything's at 11.
Hey, you gotta admit, the things with Mary and Joseph weren't up to 11. Yeah.
Oh, no, that's the funny thing is, even though they write Mary and Joseph to act much more...
Modern?
Much more contemporary, there's such a realism, and I think part of it is because Zach Levy, who plays Joseph, comes off feeling so sincere because he feels like a man who has just learned he's a father, and that alone in and of itself is such a scary thing to think that you're going to be a dad, but you're going to be the dad to the son of the deity that you worship, which means you have like quadruple stress, because if you screw that kid up, like his real dad will be like, Thunderbolt!
Yeah, that is just the most realistic thing. Like Mary and Joseph's story is basically just the secondary story to everything, and it's probably the strongest part of this movie. Like it's got
probably the strongest part.
Well,
you say probably. Please, WHYBOY, enlighten the good people at home. What could possibly beat out the story of a husband and wife carrying the son of the deity that they worship?
Well, I say probably because because the bits that basically work with the animals is just Bo and the bird.
Dave.
Yeah, Dave's bird. Because that's the most, everybody was named Dave back then.
Well, I mean, there was David, but still, they could have called him David.
Yeah. But yeah.
They should have called the bird Goliath.
That would have been cool. Go for short.
Yeah. Like a seagull.
Yeah, and I believe he's played by Keegan-Michael Key is the bird.
Yes.
Yes.
Because. Yeah. No, I'm like, no wait. Yeah, because I believe Peel is the other guy.
Yeah. I mean it's double. Yeah. Keegan-Michael.
This thing is
Keegan-Michael Key.
This thing regurgitates celebrities out the yin and the yang.
Yeah, probably just the one that you don't really know about it. I really don't know Stephen Young because he plays.
He's the Asian guy that got beaten to death on The Walking Dead. That Asian character who got beaten with a baseball bat and his eye was like hanging out.
Right. Yeah.
That's him.
Okay.
So I'm sure he went on to do hopefully something worthwhile after that. Well.
But he's still doing a good job as well.
I would
like basically like a third of the animals are actually worth the crap.
He's in the 1/3 that's good. Like Mary, Joseph, Bo, Dave the Pigeon is actually not bad.
Yeah.
And
that's it.
And that's it. Yeah, the sheep. I can't remember the sheep's name, and the sheep was very annoying.
Yeah, the sheep really could have been written out of the story.
I think the sheep's only there because get it, Jesus.
Shepherd.
Sony's so proud of themselves.
Yeah. Basically, just the good part of the story is just that now that Bo basically comes along with Mary and Joseph, for a time he's just trying to basically get away from them.
Right.
But then the king basically comes along just like, I got my gravelly voiced guy here, and he's going to go after Jesus and kill him.
That's the thing that gets me is that they got so many celebs for so many roles, but then it's like, who plays the big bad hunter character that's like trying to hunt down the baby Jesus? We got Lex Lang. Lex Lang's a great performer. He's known for playing Dr. Doom on Avenger Earth's Mightiest Heroes. You'd probably recognize him as he was the new voice because Clancy Brown used to be the voice for Dr. Cortex.
Right.
And then parents were like, Cortex is too scary for kids because parents are idiots. Yeah. And so they replaced him with Lex Lang. And Lex Lang is the de facto voice of Dr. Cortex.
Right.
And Lex Lang is such a great performer that I don't even understand why they got him. Because a lot of the side characters, it's like, okay, like one of the side characters is voiced by Fred Tatasciore. Fred Tatasciore is a fantastic voice performer, and he's known for playing the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
You know, he played it on Earth's Mightiest Heroes. He played the Hulk on Hulk's Agents of Smash. Even that crappy new Avengers show that came out, he plays the Hulk there too. He's very good at playing monster characters. He plays Solomon Grundy on Justice League Action, on Arkham Asylum.
Right.
He was Solomon Grundy. And it's funny because if anyone could do a deep, menacing monster voice, it's him. They could have just had him double dip and play whatever extras he was playing and do the grunts for the Hunter. This movie expends money like a mad person.
Yeah, because the Hunter has no lines, and he's just a big, gruff guy. I still stand the reason. I get it. The idea is that the newborn king, Jesus Christ, is going to come up into existence, and King Herod, I think that's his name, is like, no, I don't want a new king, because I still want to be king, so I'm going to send this guy to go kill a baby. Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that's what the Nativity was that, like, the old king didn't want the newborn king to exist. But I still stand the reason you should have worked the devil in there to be the one who's like, I want to smite the baby Jesus. And he has like a long curly mustache. Basically, he's like the bowler hat guy from
Meet the Robinsons.
Meet the Robinsons. Like, there should have been a part where the devil's outside the manger and he's like, Jesus, you stink! And he's like throwing eggs at like the farm, and like Joseph's like, hey, gets at the hose, get out of here, get out of here, devil. You're not wanted. Oh, is that holy water?
You want to put the devil everywhere there. That would be more cartoonishly funny.
You get a good comedian to play him, though. You know, you get somebody entertaining to play. Get the guy who played the bowler hat guy to play him. That would have been a hilarious version of the devil.
But yeah, we don't get the devil here and all that. We just get the big gruff guy and all that.
No love for Satan in this movie about the birth of Jesus.
Yeah, so now, because Bo basically knows about the big gruff guy, because the big gruff guy basically comes to Mary and Joseph's house, smashes some stuff up, basically scares Bo away. So now Bo has to save Mary and Joseph and all that, because he feels...
And they're going to Bethlehem?
Yeah.
Right? They journey to Bethlehem and they follow the star in the sky.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that's all the good stuff, actually. The stuff where Mary is very frightened about this because, you know, it's so much pressure for her that she's going to have the Immaculate Conception.
Yeah.
You know, I think the stuff with Joseph is great where he's like, he sees Mary sleeping and he's so scared.
Yeah.
And he says, you know, he prays to God and he says, why choose me out of anyone? I'm nobody. I'm a carpenter.
Yeah, even the bare basic stuff with Bo and Dave. I was almost saying David again because
that sounds more religious.
Yeah, Bo and Dave, because they're supposed to be like the best friend characters, and you know, best friend characters in a lot of crappy anime movies are just like,
hey, My Little Pony.
Like, oh hey Nero, I have a big problem. Are you gonna help me? Because it might just be like an inconvenience to you, and you'll just say, nah, we don't want to do that. I'm going away. We're breaking up at this point. Third act breakup. Bye.
Yeah, like Shrek.
It's just, like, those are just like some of the best friend breakups that we see like time and time and time again.
Right. And it's boring.
Yeah.
Because it's so cliche.
It is also just sort of a poisonous sort of just effect to the characters and all that. Because
again,
when you when you get like best friend characters, like just think of your best friend in real life. Where is the trust and your best friend just basically just walked off at basically the first sign of a big confrontation and all that?
Again, My Little Pony.
Yep, exactly. But Dave the Pigeon wasn't like that.
No, he stuck it out because for him, it wasn't a matter of joining the Royal Guard. He was happy to do that just because Bo wanted to, so he wants to stick by his best friend's side.
Yeah, and that was the strongest part of it.
Strongest part for them.
Yeah, strongest part just for them and all that. Basically, if we were going to talk about the weakest part of the film, we just say, everything else.
Everything. Like, it's such a shame because you have something so good like Joseph scared about being a father figure. And I love it too, again, because like he mentions that point where he's like, you know, I'm just a carpenter. And it's like, that's the thing though. You're a humble man of the land. You build with your hands. You're the perfect person to raise up Jesus to being a good person because you're going to teach him to be humble. He's going to learn humility through you that he wouldn't learn through being exceedingly wealthy. He wouldn't have to work for it.
Then you got camels.
Yeah, and then you have camels played by Tracy Morgan and I keep wanting to say Kanye. It's not Kanye.
No, Tracy Morgan, Tyler Perry, and Oprah Winfrey.
Oprah needs to stop being in cartoons.
Yeah.
She's not a good voice actor.
Yeah, it's basically, here's the joke between Tracy Morgan, Tyler Perry, and Oprah Winfrey. I believe it's Tracy Morgan who just says the first stupid thing, just like, oh no, we're going to a birthday party. And then Tyler Perry's just like, no, we're going to, like, I don't know, a celebration of life or anything like that. And then Oprah Winfrey comes in and says like, oh no, maybe we're there to basically see the birth of the Lord. And the other two are just like, man, you crazy girl.
Shut up, Oprah. And then it's always that. It's always that rule of like, stupid one, intelligent one says something, then they're both right because the female one is breaking the fourth wall.
Basically reading the script out of it. And it's just so irritating.
That's why the freaking final act kills me. When they're looking over like Mary and Joseph with baby Jesus. And she's like, I believe in years to come from now, this will be a historic day that will stand the test of time. And then everyone's like, look at Oprah, she done drank the Kool-Aid. And it's like, what the hell?
Like, it's just so on the nose with its writing and all.
She might as well have been like, I believe that eventually we will be in vehicles. And in these vehicles, we could pick up a burger at a local window. Possibly called the Big Mac for a pretty sweet deal. Maybe a 5 for $5, if you will. If some McDonald's will hold that
true.
truth.
It's just all informational sort of stuff, just told in just sort of slightly joking manner. But the joke doesn't really work, because it's just so put in such an irritating sort of way.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's annoying, it's too on the nose, it's too heavy-handed, which is funny, because the rest of the film is fine. You know, they're not heavy-handed. It's not overly modern. I think there was only one, like, modern joke where you and I were like, but we kind of laughed.
Yeah, but it's basically just sort of like, oh, totally, like, the stuff with, like, Mary and Joseph. It's basically just sort of like, you're watching a sitcom sort of thing.
But I like that because it makes them sound like regular people. Like, the problem or not even a problem, my criticism about a lot of the religious adaptations of stuff, everything is overtly grandiose. And it's like, people don't talk like this.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could debate, oh, they did back then. Again, we really wouldn't know because no one's around back then now to really tell us if people really did talk like that.
Right.
But there's just such a disconnect with how everything is. It talks too flowery.
Yeah.
It's the same thing like, okay, Thor 1 and Thor 2 from Marvel, Thor talks like a Shakespearean character.
Right.
And it kind of makes him unrelatable because he talks like how we wouldn't.
Yeah, basically, this feels a little bit more of a disconnected character. But then in the next movie, he talked more like everyone else and all that.
No, in the first two, he pretty much still talks flowery. It's not until the third film.
No, that's what I said.
Oh,
the third film, he talks more like everyone else.
Yeah, and like Thor Ragnarok, he's a guy. He's like you or me. The only difference is when he goes to work, he has to bring a freaking hammer.
Yeah, and that's basically the thing where I feel like the star basically had a leg up above any sort of other religious adaptation and all that.
Yeah, I would argue.
Like a modern take and all that. It's just that the animals and all said basically ruined it because, like you talk about like the ending thing, like the thing that basically was so unannounced for me is like when the camels basically sneak in to basically hear what the king's talking about, what his plans for baby Jesus and all that. Like basically the three kings come in, basically the
three wise men come in.
Yeah, the three wise men come in, and basically the camels are just like, they're talking about something over there. They're talking about like king of the shoes or something like that. I don't know.
Ugh. It's like the movie just...
It feels like the movie's embarrassed to say King of the Jews.
Well, it's funny because, like, one of the financial problems you have with these kinds of movies is it's not going to connect with everyone. Especially if you're of a different religious belief, you're flat out not going to see it. So that's money gone.
Yeah.
So it's like they were trying to make an all-around movie. It's like, oh, everybody could come in and see this. But it's the Nativity.
Yeah.
Not everyone's Catholic or Christian. Not everyone believes in Jesus Christ being their savior in any way.
Yeah.
So you're already isolated the market on this.
So if you more totally like it was just like I'll just say it in the most simplest ways, but probably possible. Just basically tell it like it's a fairy tale and such. Then that would be more connecting. That's how basically I took a lot of these sort of old stories and such, including the Nativity. They basically take it as more of lessons and such.
Yeah.
Like that way it would connect to more people and all that. Don't put Oprah Winfrey at the end. It's just like, oh, people are gonna remember this for years to come. I just know it.
Man, shut up, Oprah, says Tracy Morgan.
Yeah. it just becomes annoying and grating and such.
Well, because like it's like a kid won't react negatively to those parts, but if you're older like we are, it's so weird because she might as well just be staring directly at the camera and be like, and this will become a religion for years to come. It's weird. It's off-putting. Like everything, it feels just so juddering. I think one of the things though that I can say about this didn't need to be feature length, let alone in theaters. This really could have been a short.
Well, I think they could have added more if we had more Mary and Joseph scenes.
Oh,
because
yeah.
they basically just ripped out all the interesting bits out of their stuff between their travel and their journey and all that, basically just for bits and all that, where Bo just pops up and all that. Like, it could have been good if there was actually more of the journey and such.
Well,
but
it's like
you got camels.
Well, the only hardship you see, I mean, like, obviously Joseph's dealing with the emotional turmoil, but they don't do anything with it. Even with Mary, they don't do too much with it, unfortunately. And the only thing they kind of do with it is, like, when they're on their journey, they're in the cart, and the wheel falls off, and Joseph makes a quippy remark, and Mary goes to sit alone, and when he goes to talk to her, she's crying, and she's like, "You think I don't realize how hard this is? You don't think I'm scared?" Like, yeah, I believe God has a plan for all of this, but like I don't know what the plan is, and that's horrifying. And it's like, wow, a real human moment, very good emotion, very concrete, and they don't do enough with it. They don't explore it in any way. And I understand it's like, oh, it's a movie for kids, so we don't want to explore that because it gets into more philosophical discussion. But why bring it up?
Yeah, but it's not. It doesn't really have to be that philosophical in a lot of sense, because I even felt like even not just that little bit makes it all the more stronger and such.
Oh, I agree, but that's the thing. Sony is bad.
Yeah.
Like I can't mince words with you on this. Sony is bad at making films. When they want something, when they think something's for children, they dial it up. Like you saw Peter Rabbit.
Yeah.
That's the Emoji Movie. You saw that.
Yeah.
The first Hotel Transylvania. It sits on a fart joke, then it goes to a piss joke.
Yeah.
Because they're like, kids will laugh at that. Because that's what Sony does. Sony doesn't know how to treat its audience more intelligently.
Yeah, then its actual creators behind it basically have to fight against it. Like, I feel that the Star had basically a lot of things against it. Like, not even just like in the narrative and all that, like with the different animals and all that. Like, as we just said currently, like, other than the camels, who basically their only purpose basically just be with the wise men and all that, so I'll give them a pass for now. There is no point to the goat, to the horse, and also, like, I believe that's enough.
There's a cow.
Yeah, the cow. But those three characters are completely pointless.
They drop into the third act.
You know, basically just say, like, that's where Jesus is supposed to go.
Which you didn't need. All you need to do is have, like, Mary and Joseph look for a place to stay. All the inns are full. Bo finds an empty barn. That's it.
Yeah, it could have just been like Bo gets tied up and all that by his old owner and all that, just like it happens in the movie. But then he just basically kicking around. Then the light from the star shines in, shows the manger and all that. And just like, I gotta find Mary and Joseph and bring them here.
That's it. You didn't need to have him go into a place and like.
Yeah, the same thing, but just have three other characters going like, ah, man, there's been light off. That starlight here just been keeping us up every night.
Is that really necessary?
It's just like, wow, you made the light from the star that's supposed to be for Jesus, just kind of unmagical like that.
Yeah, it's like, oh, look how much of a burden the light, to show you where Christ is going to be.
Yeah. It's like, oh no, that's what it's going to be magical light. Just put a board over it.
That would have been hilarious if the animal was like, good thing we patched up that roof.
It's like, why did you do that now?
That could have been the devil's plan. Like, if I board up the roof, they won't know where to bring him. And he like shows up dressed as a carpenter, and he's like, "Buongiorno, I am Luigi. I am here to board the roof." It's really nice of you, Luigi. I will go onto the roof now, and I will have a chat. You're welcome. Oh.
Okay, Luigi. Why don't we just ask you this? Where would you rate the Star now? Because we got like a third good movie here.
This movie aggravates me because I love all the stuff with Mary and Joseph. Ironically, I'm not a religious person by nature.
Yeah.
I understand, the beauty of religion, the importance of it, the significance of how the power of faith can really strengthen a person's resolve and all that great stuff. And yet, the part I found the best part of this movie was the part with, like, Mary and Joseph having to be parents, being afraid.
Yeah.
Like, I like that. Even the stuff with Bo and Dave, that stuff was good.
Yeah.
But then there's so much of the invasive Sony crap. Where it's like...
And it just basically just drags everything down.
Yeah, like there's a freaking talking mouse. There's like the talking mouse, right?
Yeah.
And the talking mouse sees the angel who comes down to Mary,
Yeah.
who's like he looks like the Aurora Borealis, and like the angel comes down and it's like, blammo, you're pregnant, and the mouse sees it, and then because the hunter doesn't talk, he's got these two dogs played by comedians, and I can't remember what they were. One was I think is it Puffy? I think plays one of the. I don't know. I don't remember which comedians played the dog. Again, they got a lot of celebs in this. And so, like, the two dogs interrogate the mouse, and then when the hunter comes and gets the dogs, he gets the dogs, he holds up the mouse and looks at the mouse, and the hunter knows exactly where to go to find where Mary and Joseph left.
Yeah.
And you and I sat there and were like, how does he know, though? Did he talk to the animals?
Yeah.
Like, again, going back to my devil thing, like, they could have had the devil either like, whisper sweet nothings into his ear.
Yeah.
And that would have been fine. I still stand the reason they should just flat out the devil been like, I must cut them off at the passage.
Just holding the mouse like, I know where they are.
And he, like, flings the mouse. And it'd be great, because then, like, he'll come up to, like, a sign, and it's like, if they don't follow the arrow, then they won't get to Bethlehem. And you like turn the sign over and then leave. And then Joseph and Mary come up and see the signs upside down, and they're like, oh, that's weird. And they just turn right side up. There we go. And then you see him. Curses! Joseph and Mary are wiser than I imagined. The great light must be working alongside of them. And it's like, oh, Lucifer, you're trying so very hard right now. That's the thing. I don't know how to rate this fully, because, like, on one half, I love the stuff with Mary, Joseph, Bo, Dave. That's all the stuff.
Yeah,
I'm even. You remember I told you, like, when we finished it, I said, I'm so disappointed we didn't actually get to see Joseph raise Jesus, like giving him fatherly advice.
Yeah, we saw him in the after credits and all that, and those little pictures and all that.
Yeah, he's like teaching him like carpentry.
Yeah, that stuff was really cute and all that. Like, in that sort of respect, I almost want to give it almost like that third a must-see sort of thing. Like, if you're going to see the movie, see it for those see.
It's such a tiny piece, though.
You can skip through the movie and all that. That's what I see. But it is so bad and everything else that it basically just rockets down into a crunch chowder.
I really want you and me to sit down and recut the film and see if we can edit out all the bunk.
Yeah.
Because there's like the plot with the camels doesn't even fully come to a head remotely until, like, what was it? There's one part. How did they, like, come? I don't even remember how did they end up coming. Like the part where I remember, like,
the kings just brought them to Bethlehem, and they basically just, we gotta go save Jesus and all that. It's like, oh no, we've been tied to a post.
Yeah, like the three wise men tie them to a post, and they're like, how do you know who's the king? And Tyler Perry says, like, oh, kings wear hats. So this one random guy walks with a hat, and then Tracy Morgan goes, Your Majesty, you're in danger! And you just see a camel, because the humans can't understand the animals. A camel's just like yelling at a guy, and the guy's like, oh my god! And you're just like, stop it! The camels don't need to exist. Hell, you don't even really fully need the three wise men, with the exception of, in order to set up the hunter, you have to address that, like, the wise men came to King Herod, and they mentioned, like, the newborn king is going to be born.
Yeah.
That's it. And then they just have to meet at the end where they bring the frankincense, the myrrh, and the gold.
Right.
That's it. That's all you need to do.
Yeah.
So, in actuality, you don't need the flipping camels at all. Just like you don't need the cow, you don't need the goat, you don't need the horse. You really don't need the sheep. And the sheep doesn't do anything on the journey except they try to give her credence, because there's the part where Bo like falls down a cliff and he's like forked between two cliff edges, and when she gets through the cliff, she like she slides down. They do like the Emperor's New Groove thing where they're like walking down, and they basically try to address like, oh, see, that's
they basically also try to address with her that she basically followed the star and all that, basically go against her flock and all that.
Which, like, was that supposed to be a message of something? Like, be independent?
Yeah.
But then she just went back to the flock anyway, so it's...
Basically back to the flock that basically went to the star anyways and all that. So.
Yeah, and didn't the star have to come down because, like, her flock wouldn't listen to her until, like, the voice of God's like, listen up!
Listen up, you sheep! I'm just talking to you sheep here, not to anyone else. That will help the situation.
I wonder if that was like a commentary from one of the writers where it's like, religious people are sheep who just follow blindly. Or
that would not. That would be bad.
That'd be weird that you would put that message in the Nativity.
Exactly. Like, it's already going on in November and all that of that year and all that. But
yeah, the birth of Christ. When we sat down and ate the hearty bird in which he was reincarnated, and then we partook of the cranberry sauce. Which was his blood.
Why did you release in December? Like, come on, there were no other anime movies really coming out at the time. Especially not a Christmas movie like this.
Not animated, but wasn't Star Wars still coming out? Wasn't Disney still releasing Star Wars movies?
But how many people are just thinking like, I'm really going out to see Star Wars or a Christmas movie called The Star?
Dude, I'd go see Star Wars over a Christmas movie called The Star.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying like that's two different audiences entirely. Like, people are just going.
Are they though?
Like, are they choosing between the Star and Star Wars? Are they really choosing it?
But if I want the story of the Immaculate Conception, I can get that in Star Wars too, because that's the story of Anakin Skywalker.
Oh my god. I guess that all that. But yeah, I'll just for my rating, 1/3 must see. Other 2/3 crunch chowder.
I'd say 1/3's a good watch. Not a must see, but it's a good watch. And then I'd say the rest is rock bottom, dude. The camels are horrible and annoying. Then there's so many superfluous characters. Even for like the villain, like King Herod doesn't have any direct interaction with anybody.
He has 2 scenes.
He has 2 scenes, which I'm pretty sure they got a celebrity for him as well. And it's so passive. And then you have the hunter, and the hunter he's not even really intimidating. Like, he's supposed to be this big, like, booga booga dude, and he doesn't even really have that fully going for him.
Yeah.
Because then he has, like, these 2 dogs that are, like, well, one dog's always, like, cracking wise, and the other dog's, like, serious. And then they have the gall to be at the end where it's like, the dog's had a heel face. And it's almost kind of good because the idea is, like, I believe one of the teachings of Jesus is like, love thy neighbor, turn the other cheek. Basically, it's okay to forgive.
Yeah.
And they try to put that in here. It's like, man, they were gonna kill that innocent mouse for nothing other than they were getting like psychotic joy of wanting to like eat her alive.
Yeah.
And you're like, Sony, I can't stress this enough. Yeah. Fire everyone.
Yeah.
And start over. Burn it all down and then start from the ground up. Because every time you guys get writers, you do a crap-tastic job.
Yes.
But that's the Star. It's an interesting concept. I think it would work better if you cut out a lot of the excess and trimmed it down to maybe like 30 or 45 minutes and released it directly on television.
Yeah, it probably would have been a lot stronger that way.
Well, it might not have been stronger because they still don't touch on enough with...
Well, I would say stronger in a sense, like the pacing would be better.
Oh, yeah.
Between the camel scenes.
I think it would be... I think it'd be stronger in that regard where it's like the pacing won't be as incoherent. But because they don't have enough scenes with Joseph and Mary and really the full scope of what they have to go through, this difficult journey that they're going to have to endure... And that's very unfortunate because there's something there. And I understand, like, kids are not going to be probably interested in the concept of these 2 growing up to having to become a mom and dad. I would argue, well, that's bunk because Incredibles 2, a good half of it is literally about Bob is just being a dad in that film. And that's it.
Yeah.
Like, he's barely a superhero in Incredibles 2. So I'd argue that you could do that movie. And, like, instead, Sony, because it's Sony, they wanted to try and make it all around for everybody, where it's like, oh, the little kids could just come in and watch it. You get it? Was Ferdinand them?
I don't really remember actually. But
I want to say it was. Check.
yeah, just checking real quick. Ferdinand. No, Blue Sky.
So close. Sony and Blue Sky are both so like terrible. Like they're so terrible at their work in the animation field here.
I think we can just end off with that because that was just the star and all that.
I like 1/3, and I think 1/3 of it is impressive. And I think if you cut it into a television special,
It would.
I think it'd be a good television special.
Yeah, I think so too. It's definitely like if there was that sort of thing released out there, I would watch it every year.
Yeah,
I really
unfortunately, it's filmed with so much padding.
Yeah, but that's the start of one of the, and that's basically almost the end of ToonGrin's Watch Some Christmas specials and all that. Like we just had 12 straight days of just Christmas joy and Christmas poo and all that stuff. But tomorrow is Christmas.
It's practically here.
Yes, it is. And for Christmas, we have one more Christmas treat for all of you. But you'll have to wait till tomorrow to see it. So tune in then. But if you want to stay up to date on that, please subscribe below, hit the notification bell, and do all the diddly-doos in all of our social medias and all that.
And please, if you've seen the star, feel free to comment. Do you think it works as a new holiday classic? Do you think it's cluttered? Please let us know. We like engaging with you guys. We like having conversations with you people.
Yep, just tell us what you're watching, and just tell us in the comments below.
And as always, be sure to tune in.
To ToonGrin. And have a Merry Christmas.
Happy Hanukkah or Chanukah or Chanukah
Or holidays.
or Kwanzaa.
Queen.